What's up, all my Oxtables, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the MCU's latest installment, Loki Episode 1. Now, warning, there will be a ton of spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, don't watch this review. Just avoid it, and then maybe if you watch the episode and you want to hear my opinion on it, then come back. So, basically what happens in this episode is we get introduced to the Time Police. So Loki, of course, we pick up after he gets the Tesseract and he zaps out of there. He ends up going to the Gobi Desert. And Time Police show up because Loki's trying to say, hey, I am Loki to, the locals. And they're just like, yo, we don't speak English. And the Time Police show up. And this is when we have the token wham in a color that beats the shit out of Loki with a baton and drags him through the doorway from Star Trek because, yeah, remember that episode I built all our yesterdays? Yeah, the one where Spock, they go into the library, they go back because this planet everyone's gonna die, everyone's gonna go, so everyone got sent to a different time period in the past. Spock goes through the door and ends up hanging out with a cave woman, and he reverts back, or he's reverting back to what Vulcans were during that time period. Remember that episode with the doorway? Yeah, long story short. Well, they have that, so that way all the Time Police can go and travel. So basically what the Time Police are, and they drag Loki through basically the Time Police DMV. So he has to, change into his jumpsuit, sign this paper, go through all of this stuff so he can be interrogated because he broke the time law. Loki, by taking the Tesseract, broke the time law. Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Hulk, none of them broke the timeline. Everything that they did was fine because that was part of the plan. Loki, specifically Loki, broke it because he wasn't supposed to pick up the Tesseract, even though it was it made complete sense for his character. He wasn't allowed to, and he's wrong. When he makes valid points, as like I just did, hey, it was okay for Iron Man, it was okay for Steve, it was okay for the Avengers to break the timeline, but it wasn't okay for me, and he is told by another wham in a color, no, you are wrong for reasons. The reasons being, there are these ancient, time lord people, to steal that terminology. There's these lizard people that obviously they're aliens, and they are in control of time, and we kind of regulate time so that way there are no variants in time. You doing this means you are a variant in time. And what do they do when somebody breaks the timeline in a way and causes a variancy? They use their little baton to melt them. Like you see a person in the previous scene that works for the Time Police that was late to work and he was arguing about it, and so they melted him. So if you see any puns going around about, if the captain just wouldn't have missed the iceberg, he would have been melted. That's where that comes from, just in case you guys were wondering. So, doesn't make any sense? No, but that's okay. You're not supposed to it's not supposed to make sense to you, right? So, Loki is, again, he's making some valid points where he's like, hey, that doesn't exactly seem fair. I'm not guilty of breaking your laws because I didn't fucking know your laws. I don't know who the fuck you are. Apparently you guys were fine with Thanos zapping, half of the fucking universe out of existence. You guys were fine for that. That doesn't break your little time variance thing. But me picking up the Tesseract and transporting to Mongolia, that's bad. That's the embodiment of all evil, right? Does that make any fucking sense? No, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But they have reasons. They have reasons because the time lizards. So then that's when Owen Wilson shows up. Now Owen Wilson comes in. He makes a funny, statement to the lady about how she is above him. Again, it's women of color. Men are subservient to women, always in media. And yes, yay, whammon, #slay queen. So Owen Wilson takes Loki to the interrogation room and he starts playing nice cop. And he's got this little projector. And on this projector, he is projecting scenes from the MCU of Loki. So basically, Loki's life. So things we've already seen in other movies. And Loki is sitting there listening to Owen Wilson tell him about his life and kind of, at first he seems nice, but then he's just like, oh yeah, but are you really the god of mischief? Like, why do you want to rule Asgard? And Loki's just, answering the question. And I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy? Loki actually, he's actually pretty intelligent from what I've seen in other movies, unless this is a completely different character, which is kind of seeming that way. But you got Owen Wilson being like, well, you did this bad thing. You did this bad thing. You're a bad person. You did this. It doesn't seem like you're the god of mischief. He's like, you're good at escaping from things, but there's nothing really mischievous about you. All Loki would have to do is lean back and smile and be like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. You want to know? Yeah, that was a fun one. And then, allude to a little bit more. He's like, what about this one? What about this one? And, being that character that we know, that would usually do something like that, but no, he sits there and then he watches his life for a little bit. And then Owen Wilson has to leave to get lectured by Women of Color, and she's like, you shouldn't be talking to him. Rah! And while this is happening, and again, these are the time police that literally work in a building where they regulate time. They know everything that has ever happened, that is happening, that will ever happen. They are all knowing when it comes to time. So for whatever fucking reason, they are not aware of what the outcome is going to be with them reacting with Loki. They also do not realize that by having this conversation, Loki is able to escape from the interrogation room to go wander around their little complex, right? For whatever reason, these people that know everything that will ever happen and that has ever happened don't know this. Does that make very much sense? No, but who cares, right? Writing, fuck that. That's what it seems like these days. And so Loki escapes, and then there's this one kid that was basically, by kid, I mean, he's in his 20s, that was comedic relief earlier, and then Loki runs into him. There's something about a fish, and the guy claims that he's like, I don't know what a fish is, and it's like, Loki's like, how do you not know what a fish is? And I'm just like, you are literally sitting there. Again, you are all knowing. You know everything that's ever going to happen ever in the entire fucking universe. You're telling me that you are not aware of what fish is. It's like, I'm pretty sure Thanos knows what a fish is. I'm pretty sure if you watched Earth evolve, you know what a fucking fish is. Give me a break. And then he opens the drawer. What's in this guy's little desk drawer? Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of fucking Infinity Stones and a Tesseract. And he's like, oh yeah, we all just kind of collect those. They're kind of just paperweights. And Loki he picks it up and he just realizes, oh my gosh, this place is like the ultimate weapon. Because Loki's magic doesn't work there. Infinity Stones are useless in this little time DMV complex. A Tesseract is completely useless. Everything is useless except for this time power. So Loki realizes, oh, this time... What they do here, they control everything. This is the most powerful weapon ever. And it's like, okay, yeah, it seems that way. It's also pretty universe breaking. It kind of just defeats the point of free will in any character decision ever, because, oh, if there's a variant in the time, like Loki did by Loki picking up the Tesseract, oh, so it's like, okay, so then what if Steve didn't go back in time? Or what if he took all the Infinity Stones back, but then he decided to come back and not stay with Peggy? Would they have melted him? Like they did that employee? Like they do to other people in this fucking episode? It doesn't make any fucking sense. If you are a variant in the course that they set out for you, like Loki is, which the only reason they haven't melted him is because Owen Wilson needs him to find the bad guy. Spoiler alert. Oh yeah, that's the whole point why Owen Wilson is interrogating him. It's because he wants him to find the fucking bad guy. So Loki runs off and he goes back into the projection room and he starts watching his life and he sees everything that happens. He sees himself die. He sees the shit that happened with his mom, and he's earlier in the episode when Owen Wilson was interrogating him, he was like, just watching it, but now he's crying, and it's like, who is this? This isn't Loki. Loki, the god of mischief. The second he realized that this is the ultimate weapon, you want me to believe that he wouldn't immediately start trying to utilize it and take over this little complex and utilize everything to his goals and his needs? But no, he goes back into the interrogation room and sits on the floor watching his life and how he dies and cries. Give me a fucking break. So then Owen Wilson comes in, they have a little conversation, and it's Owen Wilson explaining to him that there's somebody going back in time or forward in time, that somebody's fucking up with the timeline, and they need Loki to go and fix it because it is Loki, or it's a different version of Loki. And then it cuts to a scene where it is all of the time police, and there's this hooded, cloaked figure, and then this person apparently has some kind of blowtorch, and then just lights all the time police on fire, and they all just die. And it's like, again, these are the time police. They regulate time. They know what's going to happen in the past, present, and future, and none of them saw this happen. It's like, come on. If there is a variant, you are going to see that, and you are going to see how you fix it because you can see the future. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's universe breaking. It makes everything that everyone fucking did pointless because it was all part of the plan. There's no free will in it. What if Tony said, hey, maybe I don't want to be a selfish asshole in Endgame just because the woman that I love didn't get snapped out of existence and we have a child. Well, guess what? I'm going to fuck up everyone else's lives. And so we're not going to go just back to when Thanos initially did the snap and undo that so all of the people that moved on with their lives after the snap that have lived these 5 years, we can just take that misery away from them and we can just go back and make none of this ever happen. So if Tony did that selfless act instead of being selfish and wanting to, keep his child alive, which, I mean, it's a noble thing, but if you think about it, it's like he was thinking about himself and not the rest of the fucking world. Okay, so if Tony decided, hey, I want to be selfless and it doesn't matter that, like, I want my child to be alive, I want to go and, just undo all of this, take away this pain from the world, the time police would have shown up and melted him. And then, like, reset it. It's just... holy shit, it's bad. Which sucks because I had real high hopes for Tom Hiddleston and for this character, but then it's not even like he's a character. It's like he is this tool that he walks in, people say stuff to him, he kind of makes a point, and then it's just shot down, and then he acts like a completely different person. He just sits there and listens to everyone face value. He just allows all this shit to happen to him. And yes, when he tries to escape, he does make the attempt, but then he doesn't utilize any of this technology or anything around him. He knows that his magic is useless. He knows that the Infinity Stones and the Tesseract is useless, and he just sits there on the floor even though he had just realized that he's literally in the ultimate weapon. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. But I feel like that's just what Marvel is doing now. And it really sucks because there's so much potential. Again, you had, I'll say 49 minutes. And this is how you decide to utilize them. I mean, go watch an episode of Star Trek, the original series. And go see how, when you're put under pressure and you have a limited budget and you don't have the luxury of CGI, go see what people are actually capable of doing with writing. I mean, me and Drunk 3PO used to do watch parties, and he would just be amazed at how many twists happen in one episode. And I'm like, this is what you're trying to sell me on your story, is that Loki is completely incompetent, that there's just been these people that have been sitting around for fucking ever just watching all this shit happen. It's like, oh, okay, it's okay for Thanos to snap out of existence half the population of the entire fucking universe, but oh my god, Loki picked up the fucking Tesseract. He is the embodiment of all evil and we need to zap him. Rah! This one of our employees came to work late, we must melt him out of existence. It's like, what on earth are these standards? Anyways, I'm losing my voice now. That's how I feel about this episode. That's my review of this episode. I did do a a reaction. I tweeted out my reactions over on Twitter. If you guys want to check that out, my Twitter is linked down below. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I actually happened to pop on EFAP last night. After I watched this episode, I saw the guys were live and I started commenting in the chat. I will link that episode down below as well if you would like to check out me, Mahler, Rags, and Fringy talking about this episode. So that will be down below as well. And again, let me know what you think about this episode, about the lizard, the time lizard people, the melting, the everything. Because I'm just like, really, you had this awesome character and this is the best you could do. Just why? It takes away any, like Black Widow dying. It's like they could literally just open a door and go get her, and then they have a fucking drawer full of all these fucking Infinity Stones and just, you know, throw the other one to Hawkeye. Nobody has to die. Nobody has to sacrifice themselves for the Soul Stone. Basically, Endgame and them going back and trying to find all the Infinity Stones was fucking pointless. But, you know, plots, thought process, planning, that doesn't matter, right? It's Hollywood. It doesn't matter anymore. It's not like this is, you know, the place where all of the creative people come to go express their ideas and try to be the best that they possibly can be. Nah, it's make it flashy, make it kind of funny, make it memeable, so that way people watch it and we can sell merch. That is what it is boiled down to. Anyways, everyone, I feel like I've gotten cynical enough. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thank you so much for watching. And if you didn't, thank you so much for watching this far through anyway. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you smash the like button. And until next time, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my Etsy, where I sell prints of my original oil paintings and drawings that range from horror villains, heroes, and your favorite Star Wars characters. I also have an art channel where I post time lapses and tutorials, and also if you want to see work in progresses, I also have an Instagram dedicated specifically to that. Then finally, you can check out my Teespring for wearable merch, and all platforms are listed down below in the description of this video. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.